Hello, welcome to Learning Every Day with me, Lisa Aaron. Join our learning circle and subscribe. Today we're going to be learning about prepositional phrases. If you notice next to me, we have some boxes and some cats. Notice their position. It's going to be important to think about this as you learn about prepositional phrases. Let's begin. Prepositional phrases. Definition. A prepositional phrase begins with a preposition and ends with a noun, which is a person, place, thing, idea, or pronoun, called the object of the preposition. Prepositional phrases add description or answer questions, like where or when. A sentence can have more than one prepositional phrase. Example: we left our notes under the book on the shelf. Notice the word under. That's a preposition. And the prepositional phrase is under the book. The book is the noun. Under the book. That is a prepositional phrase. Book being the noun or the object of the preposition. The second preposition is the word on. On the shelf is the prepositional phrase. Shelf being the noun or the object of the preposition. A prepositional phrase can appear anywhere in a sentence, at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end. Sometimes you can use a prepositional phrase to combine sentences. Example: Angel wrote an article. She wrote about travel. Now we're going to combine these sentences, and it becomes Angel wrote an article about travel. Remember the box that I showed you with the cats? Well, think what you can do with a box. As you think of things you can do, you now have words that are prepositions. For example, a person can go in the box. The word in is the preposition. Or on top of. On is the preposition. Or under the box, etc. In, on top of, and under are all prepositions. The noun that comes after the preposition is called the object of the preposition. The girl is on the box. On is the preposition. On the box is the prepositional phrase. Box is the object of the prepositional phrase. The boy is behind the box. Behind is the preposition. Behind the box is the prepositional phrase. Box is the object of the prepositional phrase. The boy is far from the box. Far from is the preposition. Far from the box is the prepositional phrase. Box is the object of the prepositional phrase. The boy is among the boxes. Among is the preposition. Among the boxes is the prepositional phrase. Boxes is the object of the prepositional phrase. The boy is under the box. Under is the preposition. Under the box is the prepositional phrase, and box is the object of the prepositional phrase. The boy is inside the box. Inside is the preposition. Inside the box is the prepositional phrase. Box is the object of the prepositional phrase. The girl is in front of the box. In front of is the preposition. In front of the box is the prepositional phrase. Box, again, is the object of the prepositional phrase. The boy is next to the box. Next to is the preposition. Next to the box is the prepositional phrase. And again, box is the object of the prepositional phrase. The boy is against the box. Against is the preposition. Against the box is the prepositional phrase. And box is the object of the prepositional phrase. Did you notice these all are involving what you can do around a box? And that can help you figure out what words are prepositions. The boy is across the box. Across is the preposition. Across the box is the prepositional phrase. And box is the object of the prepositional phrase. The girl is between the boxes. Between is the preposition. Between the boxes is the prepositional phrase, and boxes are the object of the prepositional phrase. Here's a prepositional phrases list. Common prepositional phrases. About, above, according to, across, after, against, ahead of, along, alongside, amid, among, around, at top, before, behind, below, beneath, beside, between, by means of, despite, down, due to, during, except, following, for, from, in addition to, in case of, in front of, in place of, in spite of, inside, instead of, into, like, mid, minus, near to, next to, notwithstanding, of, off, on account, of, on behalf, of, onto, on, top of, opposite, out of, outside of, owing to, over, past, plus, prior to, since, through, throughout, till, to, towardward, under, underneath, until, up, upon, with regards to, within, without. There's a few of these that you really have to memorize, like except, despite, minus, mid, notwithstanding, opposite, owing to, prior to, since, until. Keep some of those in mind that we just mentioned. Review this list for your understanding of common prepositional phrases. Here are some uncommon prepositional phrases. Unusual prepositions. According to, ahead of, among, as, aside, amid, about, abroad, according to, because of, by means of, close to, due to, during, except, hence, in accordance with, in addition to, in case of, in front of, in lieu of, in place of, in regard to, in spite of, instead of, next to, on account of, on behalf of, opposite, out from, out of, owing to, per, prior to, round, regarding, since, then, till, times, unlike, until, unto, upon, via, with a view to, within, without, worth. The prepositional phrases may indicate position, direction, or time. At, times of the day. At 1 o'clock. At 1 o'clock. At lunchtime. At noon. At midday. At night. At midnight. At sunrise. Or at sunset. At bedtime. Holidays. At Christmas. At Thanksgiving. At New Year's. The preposition in is always used to qualify the position or state of the noun or pronoun. The preposition into is used to express the motion. In months and seasons. In March. In September. In summer. In autumn. In the spring. Years and decades. In 2000. In the 1990s. In the 90s. Centuries and other long periods of time. In the 1900s. In the 20th century. In the Dark Ages. In the past. In the morning. In the afternoon. In the evening. On. Days of the week. On Monday. On Tuesday morning. On a holiday. On my birthday. On a weekday. On a weekend. Dates. On the 20th May. On the 25th December. For a part of a particular day. On Wednesday afternoon. On Thursday evening. How to find prepositional phrases. Prepositional phrases can be interchanged in sentences. Prepositions have no defined clear-cut meaning in sentences, meaning the preposition is not there, the sentence will still make sense. Every sentence can use a different preposition. This is why prepositions cannot be translated into other languages. The words that fill in the blank are prepositions. The cup is blank the table. The cup is on the table. The cup is on top of the table. See how we interchange the prepositional phrase and we still have the same meaning? The school is blank the church. The school is next to the church. The school is near to the church. The school is beside the church. The owl is blank the tree branches. The owl is within the tree branches. The owl is amid the tree branches. The wrecking machine is moving blank the hill. The wrecking machine is moving over the hill. The wrecking machine is moving across the hill. The wrecking machine is moving on top of the hill. The shark is blank the little fish. The shark is behind the little fish. The shark is in back of the little fish. The tomato is blank the cheese. The tomato is on top of the cheese. The tomato is over the cheese. The horse is blank the barn. The horse is far from the barn. The horse is away from the barn. The wolf is blank the moon and stars. The wolf is beneath the moon and stars. The wolf is below the moon and stars. The wolf is under the moon and stars. We now can see the prepositional words can be interchanged and still have the same meaning. How to find prepositional phrases. Looking for prepositional phrases in sentences. How to find prepositional phrases. Remember this rule. The subject and the verb are never in a prepositional phrase. We are going on the trip. We is the subject. Are going is the verb. On is the preposition. Trip is the object of the preposition. The prepositional phrase is on the trip. We know this because we have to find the preposition first. And when we find the object of the preposition, we have found the prepositional phrase. The preposition is at the beginning, and at the end is the object of the preposition, which makes up the prepositional phrase. My friend lives on a farm. Friend is the subject. Lives is the verb. On is the preposition. Farm is the object of the preposition. Prepositional phrase is on a farm. The dog is sitting under the table. Dog is the subject. Is sitting is the verb. Under is the preposition. Table is the object of the preposition. And the prepositional phrase is under the table. The girls sat opposite the boys. Girls is the subject. Sat is the verb. Opposite is the preposition. Boys is the object of the preposition. The prepositional phrase is opposite the boys. Girls is the subject. Sat is the verb. Preposition is opposite. The object of the preposition is boys. Prepositional phrase, we have to find the preposition first, the beginning, and we know the ending is the object of the preposition, so opposite the boys is the prepositional phrase. The cat climbed up the tree. Cat is the subject. Climbed is the verb. Preposition is up. Tree is the object of the preposition. Prepositional phrase is up the tree. Remember this rule. The subject and the verb are never in the prepositional phrase. The restaurant is next to the movie theater. Restaurant is the subject. Is the verb. Next to is the preposition. Theater is the object of the preposition. The prepositional phrase is next to the movie theater. And notice that the subject and the verb is not a part of the prepositional phrase. You can clearly see this. We are going to the game at 1:30 p.m. We is the subject. Are going is the verb. To is the preposition. Game is the object of the preposition. The prepositional phrase is to the game. At is the preposition. PM is the object of the preposition. The prepositional phrase is at 1:30 p.m. So here we have two prepositional phrases in one sentence. Again, remember this rule. The subject and the verb are never in a prepositional phrase. The cousins ran through the house with the ball. Cousins is the subject. Ran is the verb. Through is the preposition. House is the object of the preposition. The prepositional phrase is through the house. With is also a preposition. Ball is the object of the preposition. The prepositional phrase is with the ball. The letter regarding the bad news sat on the table. Letter is the subject. Sat is the verb. On is the preposition. Table is the object of the preposition. The prepositional phrase is on the table. We are not done. And here we have regarding. Do you remember that one? That's an unusual preposition. News is the object of the preposition. And the prepositional phrase is regarding the bad news. I tricked you a little bit. I went to the end first, and I didn't play with the middle. The prepositional phrase, I was seeing if you noticed the middle. And the prepositional phrase, how to find prepositional phrases. Prepositional look-alike. A preposition must be located in a prepositional phrase. Sometimes a word is listed as a preposition, but is not because it is located outside the prepositional phrase. Example, please practice your basketball dribbling outside. When we see the word outside, we see there is no object of the preposition. There's no prepositional phrase. So this is not a preposition, even though it's the word outside, which is often used as a preposition. But in this case, it doesn't create a prepositional phrase, so it's not considered a preposition. This is not a preposition. Let's go to the next example. They practice their dribbling outside to avoid breaking the lamp. When we say they practice their dribbling outside, there's no object of the preposition. When using the word outside, and this is not a preposition. However, there is a preposition in this sentence. The word to and lamp is the object of the preposition, but we're concentrating on the word outside. We learned that a prepositional phrase is a group of words beginning with a preposition and ending with a noun or pronoun, which is the object of the preposition. Prepositional phrases modify or describe nouns, pronouns, objects, adjectives, adverbs, and pronouns. I hope you learned a lot today and enjoyed this lesson. Please come back to Learning Every Day with Lisa Aaron for another lesson on something else that you may enjoy. I've enjoyed working with you. Please subscribe If you have any comments, I will be watching. Take care for now. Have a great day. Educational books by Lisa Aaron available on Amazon.